Hey everybody, welcome to Fallout Equestria. I actually have a thought since you know about the strike. I want to make this video into two parts and post on YouTube. I want to know. I have a thought to post, like just recording normally like I normally do, but posting to Google Drive and then making a announcement video here. I'll explain it in more depth. It'll get its own video that should go up at the same time as this first 15-minute part. But I think I want to do that because I've kind of been spoiled by just however long I want the video, so it kind of hurts going back to 15 minutes. But let's watch.
I couldn't save Monterey Jack.
Oh
I
fuck,
couldn't
Monterey
stop
Jack.
Steelhooves from murdering Chief Grimstar.
Fuck Chief
I was
Grimstar.
letting down my friends and everyone who needed me.
Okay,
The
okay. I'm going to be extra like I don't give a fuck this episode because I found this site which is nothing but quests like on Sufficient Velocity, and I found a fucking berserker berserker caveman quest, and it was the most metal shit ever. Like they kill one of the side characters, not even the main character, a side character ripped a god's heart out and ate it. Like, that was the level that quest was working on. And I got into that shit. Like, ate their way into a behemoth and ate their way out. They went some Aztec berserker shit. And I got so into that, I'm actually, like, I don't give a fuck, right? I want to see Little Pip eat an alicorn's heart. That's how into that story I am. I'll give a link because that shit was metal as fuck. You guys should go read it. It'll be in the description.
realization of what I've been doing to those closest to me with my damn addiction cut deep. And as much as I wanted to rage at Velvet Remedy, it was my fault that Monterey Jack was dead. I'd killed him with a mint. Actually, I'd killed him with a whole lot of them. I'd been eating them like... Damn it, they actually tasted like candy. How fucking wrong is that? I was physically exhausted and mentally overwhelmed, on the verge of crying. It took me a long time to pull myself up off the floor and make my way back. The basement was huge, cluttered, maze-like. I took a wrong turn and found myself in a room full of spark-powered generators,
Cool.
half of which were running, making the whole room seem to throb. A bank of them on the far wall were burned and blackened, their metal skins ruptured. One exploded generator was randomly sparking, making the air taste like lightning. The skeleton of a pony, severed in two by a hunk of metal shrapnel, rested forever on the floor a few yards from them. An engineering schematic on the wall told me that these had been the generators which powered the Ministry's magical defenses. They had given their lives, saving the building and its inhabitants from the Manhattan Balefire bomb. Well, all except for one very unlucky maintenance pony.
Oh.
I
That's
wondered what
sad.
her or his name had been. Did the pony have a family? Did they know what happened?
Well,
All
they were
moot
working
200
on it.
years
They
later.
probably knew.
Just one more tear. I backtracked and finally found my way to the exit. As I stepped out through the basement doorway, I was greeted by two of 10 Pony Tower's guard ponies. "Little Pip, you need to come with us." I stared at them, then back to the door in the open basement. Was I being arrested? A weight sunk in my heart. They must think that I was responsible for the disappearance of Chief Grimstar. That was fast. But then, I had been running around like a mad pony earlier, and here I was leaving the scene of the crime. Because today just couldn't get any worse. I nodded to the guards, saying nothing, and let them escort me
Okay,
to the
good. Okay, I was
constabulary
worried there.
offices. I'd been here before. I wondered if any of the ponies I had played seductress with in order to get a private audience with Monterey Jack would be there. They wouldn't need to execute me. I could simply die from embarrassment. One thing was for sure. I wasn't going to say anything. I knew what Steelhooves had done. But what would be the use of pointing a hoof? I'd learned that lesson with Monterey Jack.
Oh
Ponies
my
turned to
God.
stare as they marched me through the 10-pony constabulatory. I could hear the half-whispers that followed my passing. I recognized a few of the guards on duty, including the one I had sweet-talked into giving me his pencil so I could write down all the ideas that my PTM-fueled brain had been devising. I drooped my head, wanting to crawl. I glanced up as we passed several guard ponies talking with steel hooves. From the look of things, he was here of his own volition. That did not bode well.
Aww.
In here, please, one of the escorts demanded. To my surprise, the door he swung open for me wasn't a cell, but to a nice-looking office paneled in fake wood and full of bookshelves. Take a seat, and don't wander off. Some pony will be here with you shortly.
Is this like
I
going
looked
to
to
be
him
like
in confusion.
citizenship? Is this the
Sorry about the
paperwork
delay.
for
We've had a
citizenship?
situation with the chief. You're not on our first priority list today. I was so weary that I sank onto the little couch in the office and didn't move, waiting for what seemed like hours. I checked my pit buck. It was getting late. I was hungry and confused. There was a small radio on a desk corner. I turned it up, wanting to lose myself in DJ Pony's music. Instead, I was shocked to hear Steelhooves' deep voice rumble from the box.
Oh, my eye.
I'm no hero. If you're looking for a hero, look to Chief Grimstar. He bravely sacrificed himself to save all of you. I only wish that I could have saved him. Sheriff Rottingtail had been gathering a veritable army of zombie ponies in the maintenance tunnels surrounding 10 Pony Tower. There was a door in the basement through which the sheriff was going to unleash them upon the innocent residents of this tower. It would have been a slaughter. The Talons hired by the chief learned of this threat, but were not pleased with how things went down. When I encountered the Talons, there were considerably fewer of them than when Chief Grimstar hired them. So they neglected to inform the chief of any of this, leaving all of your lives in jeopardy. When I informed the chief, he insisted we go down to investigate the Talon's story. We found the door and ventured through with the intention of making sure it could not be opened from the outside. We were destroying the terminal that controlled the door access from the maintenance tunnels when the zombie ponies attacked us en masse. Only my armor saved me. I still remember Grimstar's final words, ordering me to flee, close the door, and make sure it was disabled from inside the tower as well.
He's really good at this, and that's concerning.
Sacrificing himself to give me the time I needed.
He is really good at coming up with bullshit, and that is a concern.
To make sure 10 Pony Tower was and is safe.
I mean, he's practiced, or he's got experience.
Main, he was actually going to pull this off, wasn't he?
Yeah.
DJ Pony's voice was now on the radio. From an interview an hour ago with one of my faithful assistants, the 10 Pony Constabulary has confirmed the Steel Ranger's tale based on a computer entry left by Chief Grimstar. Oh, wait, was that why he trotted me into here? My lockpicking skills seemed virtually unique, but I doubted that my ability to hack a terminal was nearly so rare. And if any pony could do it, who was more likely than a knight of the Ministry of Technology? It was just a guess, a suspicion, but it struck me that Steelhooves was covering his bases. Part of me almost admired what he was capable of. Part of me was angry that he was using Homage's broadcast, dedicated to the truth of the wasteland, no matter how bad it hurt, to spread his lies. I turned off the radio. Some pony finally arrived to speak with me.
Well, technically,
the debonair
it's
gentle
the
stallion
truth.
took his place on the
It's
other side
on
of the
the
desk was a
terminal.
mottled brown unicorn with glasses perched on his nose and a scroll for a cutie mark. Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's get down to business, shall we? I nodded glumly. I was no longer curious why I was here.
Relation
I just wanted to
homage?
get whatever it was over with so I could go on. The unicorn levitated several scrolls onto the desk and opened them. Now, you should be aware that there are expenses that have to be accounted for. The cost of the rope used to hang the entourage jack was 35 bottle caps. Fine stuff, premium made. Cost for the executioner was 25 bottle caps. Then there are cremation expenses. The stallion looked over his glasses at me. Unless, of course, he would rather they just throw his body out into the street for the birds. His tone suggested that that would be looked upon as uncivilized, but that he was required to give the option. Cremation itself is 100 bottle caps, plus an additional 57 for the basic box. I stared with dawning comprehension. I was going to have to pay for Monterey Jack's execution. I was dumbfounded. How in Equestria did that make sense?
Me too.
But I thought, as I sank into depression, it did make sense. It was my fault that he was dead. Why shouldn't I have to pay for it?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I listened
again,
spiritedly.
Okay? I that fucking quest I read, it's just no fucks to give anymore. Like, that... You get to the later part of that quest, and I've read through all of it that there is to read right now. Like, you just stop giving a fuck, and you are on the blood train. Ugh. Like, you just start seeing just rip and tear everywhere you look.
The list of fees and
Like,
expenses
fuck
of
this shit.
grew and grew. 1 year's rent for both the cheese shop and his private quarters, amounting to 7,200 bottle caps. Altogether, required expenses and fees amount to a total of 9,047 bottle caps. I stared vacantly for a moment. Then I nodded. With a sigh, I asked, "How long do I have to pay for this? I don't have that kind of money." As a group, we had easily more than double that, but I couldn't feel right about draining such a huge amount of bottle caps from what was Calamity and Velvet Remedy's money as well. Steelhoof's too, although I felt less of a pang about that. The General Stallion just blinked at me. Perfect. By their standards, I was poor. I mean, I could probably pay for about half of it now. Giving me an odd look, the Stallion informed me. It's already been taken out of the accounts. Unfortunately, Monterey Jack didn't have sufficient funds to pay for all of it in caps, so a fair amount of his personal property was confiscated for auction in accordance to... He droned off legalese that went completely over my mane. Confusion scrambled my thoughts. So, I didn't have to pay for Monterey Jack's execution? Then why pull me in here to tell me all this? Did they just assume that I wanted to know, so I could gloat? Was I legally required to gloat?
That would be awesome.
The General Stallion was staring at me again. A frown broke across his face. "Well, I just lost that bet," he muttered to himself. Then, addressing me, "You have no idea why you're in here, do you?" I shook my head. "Monterey Jack was convicted of attempted burglary. You were the pony he tried to rob. Therefore, upon death, all of his properties are legally yours."
Woo!
What?
We got a shop! We got a shop now! Oh, man, that raking a nice little amount of money, you know. Clearly, 10 Pony Tower needs a cheese shop. The old one went out of business. Yes. Where was Monterey Jack actually getting his cheese? I mean, okay. Our Brahmin are a thing, right? Have we come across Brahmin? I don't think we have. I mean, there probably is Brahmin. Because cows used to exist. Unless there's some horror. Cows are the death claws in this world. No, that'd be too cracky.
Wait.
I'm running on
What?
caffeine and sleep deprivation.
It was bad enough that I thought I was being punished. I had to make peace with that because I deserved no less for my stupidity and failure.
Oh, fuck off!
Now I was being rewarded for it.
Okay? Like, right now, all I'm thinking is you should have, like, ripped his head off and used it as a drinking cup. I'm done with it, Lil Pip.
No. The
I
world
have a
did
lot
not
of
get to be
bottle
that
caps.
fucked up. I refused to let it. The Stallion considered me. Honestly, there are a number of ponies who suspected that Monterey Jack's confession might have been more from the magic of your horn than the weight of his conscience. He informed me. I remembered the whispering as I passed by. Of course they did. Any pony who knew about the twisted bit of legalese would suspect me. Even I hadn't been able to comprehend why Monterey Jack had confessed until I talked with him privately. The legal Stallion continued. I personally had laid good caps that this was some sort of plot cooked up between you and Monterey Jack. Again, he frowned. Clearly
Why?
not.
How?
I stared at that.